to my colleagues. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Friday, May 27, 2022. Dr. Campos?
Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Establishing roll calling quorum for today, we have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Corzan and Reyes. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time. Currently, we do have one caller on the line under general public comment. We have no commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section, and we also do not have any no callers on the line for items 1 through 7 for today's agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. For that, I heard we have public comment. Can we go into public comment now?
Yes, we do. We have one caller on the line. Dr. Tom Williams, if you can please unmute your microphone at this time. The Board of Public Works is now considering general public comment. You'll have 2 minutes to speak under this category. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Dr. Tom Williams, Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community, and subject for this morning, 710 Measure R monies and how they're being used through the Bureau of Engineering and LADOT. But we're kind of confused out here in Northeast LA because BOE doesn't seem to know what DOT is doing. I'd highly recommend a memorandum of agreement and understanding regarding any expenditures of Measure R 710 North monies, both for LADOT through the Hubs project and for BOE through the North 710 upgrades of Valley, Huntington Drive, and Eastern. These seem to be coordinated at the financial level, but not at the technical and public participation level. Although DOT is a member of the Hubs project under SCAGS and LA County, we're not getting any real information coordinated with the 710 upgrades, especially of Valley and Huntington Drive, which have hubs, I hope, but we do not know. So there's a coordination issue between DOT, BOE, SCAGS, and county. So I'd like to have those resolved and some sort of report back from Bureau of Engineering regarding, hey, get an MOU and MOA regarding what's going on with the 710 monies within the city of Los Angeles. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. President Garcia, that clears the queue for general public comment, and we can close that section if you'd like.
Great, thank you. Yes, please do. Public comments now officially closed. Thank you, Dr. Williams. And moving on to the approval of the minutes for Friday, May 13, 2022. Is there a second to my motion to move this item forward?
Second.
Thank you, Vice President. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to move the approval of the minutes for Friday, May 13, 2022 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Colleagues, today we have another very important and special presentation. Today we are celebrating the culmination of the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And we are very excited here with all of our guests and honorees today on celebrating what has been a very active and joyful month of celebrating our Asian Pacific American colleagues, families, brothers and sisters, commissioners on the board, everybody else. I just want to say congratulations to you all, and I'm very excited to pass the baton over to our new commissioner, Commissioner Reyes, who will lead us on today's presentation. Commissioner Reyes, are you ready?
Thank you, President Garcia and board colleagues. Good morning, everyone, and happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Every year during the month of May, We pay special tribute to the history, culture, and contributions of generations of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in the United States. As a proud Filipina American, I'm honored to lead today's recognition, recognizing a few of our outstanding Asian American Pacific Islanders, women and men from the Department of Public Works for their achievements and contributions to the city of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a better place because of the rich culture and diversity brought by waves of immigration from AAPI ethnic groups, which led to the establishment of historic neighborhoods around us like Chinatown, Little Tokyo, Koreatown, historic Filipino town, Thai town, and Little Bangladesh. Our large and vibrant AAPI community has continued to contribute to this city through a strong work ethic and commitment to social activism and service. Their impact is felt in politics, business, academia, and more. And while great strides have been made in representation and inclusion, we still have a long road ahead of us. Almost daily in the news, we see racially motivated violence against minority groups. We continue to see a rise in hate crimes against our AAPI communities because of anti-Asian xenophobia and racism exacerbated during the pandemic. A recent study commissioned by the Pat Brown Institute for Public Affairs at Cal State LA found that two-thirds of Asian Americans in Los Angeles County fear being a victim of a racial attack. I speak before you as your Commissioner of Asian Descent, whose lived experiences mirror the challenges and barriers faced by Asian American families. As a parent of 4 Asian American daughters, I'm shocked, frustrated, and angry about the rising hate incidents. We must work together to put an end to this violence. We must begin talking about hate and violence in a way that centers our most marginalized and at risk. The board continues to stand with Mayor Eric Garcetti and other city leaders in condemning hate and discrimination and taking action to ensure that all our diverse communities know that they belong here in Los Angeles. In the Department of Public Works, we draw strength from the diversity of our workforce. We know that Los Angeles is a better place because of the contributions and viewpoints of diverse cultures. We are fortunate to have leaders, starting with Mayor Garcetti, who are invested in advancing equity and championing inclusion. From his recent signing of Executive Directive 34 on a new citywide workplace equity policy to elevate the city's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, to the launch of AAPI LA, an initiative to address the needs and challenges of AAPI Angelenos and provide an outlet for sharing their stories, to name just a couple of examples. So today's celebration is an opportunity for us to share and elevate the stories of our AAPI workforce who participate at every level throughout public works to help us collect waste, remove graffiti, recycle, trim trees, inspect construction sites, fill potholes, keep the street lights on, and so much more. We are honored to recognize a few outstanding AAPI employees for their invaluable contributions to the Department of Public Works and for providing the core services that keep the city of Los Angeles running. To all our Asian American employees, we see you and we hear you. You matter to us. And now to start the ceremony, I'd like to invite President Pro Tem Mike Davis to introduce our first honoree. Take it away, Mike.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes, to join the city and the Board of Public Works on this auspicious occasion. It is my privilege to introduce the first honoree, from the Bureau of Contract Administration, Tom Dam. Tom Dam has served as the City of Los Angeles, in the City of Los Angeles for 32 years. He is currently a principal construction inspector with the Bureau of Contract Administration. Tom began his career as an administrative clerk at the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. In 1993, he promoted to contract administration as an office engineering technician. Then in 1997, became an assistant inspector. During this time, he was recognized twice and received 2 safety stars for promoting safety within the Bureau. His supervisor at the time was John Reamer. Throughout Tom's career, his evaluations have always been consistent in citing his outstanding performance in his duties, high quality of work, and professionalism. In 2019, Tom was promoted to Principal Construction Inspector and assigned to the General Services Division, where he supervises payments, dispatch, finals, and Special Research and Investigation section. Tom assisted with programming and user issues on the Bureau of Contract Administration Inspection and Dispatch application, and recently wrote a user manual for inspection personnel on how to use the system. He's been extremely, he's been an exemplary employee in his attendance, his work ethic, and his empathy and compassion for not only clients, but for his fellow city employees. Tom will be retiring on June 18th, 2022, and we thank him for his many dedicated years of service to the Bureau of Contract Administration and to the City of Los Angeles. And with that introduction, it's also my privilege to introduce to you our Inspector General for the City of Los Angeles, John Reamer, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Commissioner Davis. Thank you, Board of Public Works. I am so blessed and honored to be here today, and I just need to pause to just celebrate each one of you commissioners for recognizing the value that diversity brings to this department and your commitment, your passionate commitment to make sure that you acknowledge every single family member in our Department of Public Works. So I thank each and every one of you. I've had the pleasure of working with you, and I've seen your hearts, and you really, really care for the employees in this department. Tom, as Commissioner Davis was reading about you, I was just soaking it all in. And Tom, you are going to be so missed. I don't I don't have the words other than to start with saying thank you. Thank you for the service that you have given the city, this department, our bureau, and me. And I tell people all the time that whatever I accomplish, it's not because of me. It really isn't. It's because of the staff, the men and women, the dedicated, committed employees that I've been blessed to serve with. And Tom Dam, you're right there. You are one of those individuals. As Dr. Davis alluded to, I had the opportunity when I was in the role you're in right now to supervise you. And I knew then that you were a blessing. You are someone, Tom, that definitely cares for other people. If I were to, as we use the 3 Ps today in our contracting efforts, for you, Tom, your 3 Ps, first and foremost, is that you are patient. You're patient in every way. And you take the time to hear everyone's story before you even assume or begin to share what you think the answer is. You make sure that you give time and attention to every single person. It doesn't matter how high they are or how low they are. You're persistent, Tom. You are one that nothing stops you. For those of you who hear, Tom Dam did not want to compete for the role that he's in right now. He is humble beyond humble. Tom says, no, I don't want to do it. I said, Tom, we almost had to, I won't say force him, but we almost had to say, fly, young man, fly. And Tom is harder on himself than anyone could ever be. And that speaks to the third P, is that he is the ultimate professional. And you are, Tom, in every way. It is not by mistake that we have you where we do with respect to payments for all the construction that happens in this city and your efforts to make sure, and boy, do you work hard to make sure that our contractors are compensated for the work they provide, and it's done timely. You reach out to departments, you will go to whatever means necessary. And so I have this little saying that the turtle wins. Why? Because slow and steady wins the race. Tom, that's you. That is you in every way. So I am so honored and pleased and blessed as the Inspector of Public Works to honor you, Tom Dam, your 32 years of service, for being the person you are, the professional that you are in every way. You are so going to be missed. This time last year, I was saying so long to someone who was near and dear to me, Hannah Choi. This time this year, you are near and dear to me, Tom Dam. Please know that. You're near and dear to every employee in this Bureau of Contract Administration for the person that you are. You represent your culture and your heritage well. Your family, I'm sure, is proud. So I'm pleased and honored. I could go on and on and on and on and on. I'm going to shut it down. I'm pleased and honored to say thank you. Thank you so much, Tom, for all that you've done for us and all that you've given to us. And may you so enjoy this next chapter and this next journey in your life. Blessings to you, Tom.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rimmer, President Garcia, and Commissioners, for this wonderful presentation today for the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I'm so honored to be recognized by the board and by my BCA family. I'll be retiring in about 2 weeks, so this is a great way to end my 32 years of service to the city. Thank you all so much for this memorable moment in my career. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and congratulations again. And now we're going to go to our Vice President, Teresa Villegas, to present the honoree for the Bureau of Engineering.
Thank you, and congratulations, Tom. And all of the honorees today, I think that you are all well worth the recognition and dedication as just servant leaders, always for public service. And I think what, Mr. Reamer was saying about being selfless, I think that's what public service is about. So congratulations to all the honorees. I have the privilege of doing the honoree for Bureau of Engineering, and that's to Janelle Para, and she's the Property Manager 1 with the Bureau of Engineering. And Ms. Janelle Para is a licensed real estate broker with approximately 22 years of city experience and 29 years of real estate experience in the purchase and sale of real property in the private sector. She's currently a Property Manager 1 for the Bureau of Engineering. Janelle started with the city career as an accounting clerk in 2000 with Los Angeles Department of Transportation, and she was promoted to accounting record supervisor at the city clerk election division. She spent 12 years with the Department of Water and Power as a real estate officer, where she negotiated and developed solar memorandum of understanding with the city's Recreation and Parks Department and Harbor Department. She led multidisciplinary team of consultants, right-of-way engineers, managers, and attorneys to streamline the secondary land use process, enhance the services provided by the department, and capture the actual cost of running the program. It's a lot of work, Janelle, because that's a lot of detail. Janelle also previously spent 2 years with Economic and Workforce Development Department as a senior real estate officer. In her current role with the Bureau of Engineering, Janelle assists in the planning, organizing, scheduling, and directing real estate appraisals acquisition, relocation, and right-of-way certifications for infrastructure-related projects. To give back to the city and other local agencies, Janelle serves as Vice President for the 450 members of the Los Angeles Filipino Association of City Employees. She will be serving as LA Faces, that's the acronym, as a president for this incoming fiscal year. Congratulations on that. Janelle also serves as a secretary for 2,000 plus members of the International Right-of-Way Association, Local Chapter 1. You have a busy professional life, and I'm sure your personal is as well. Congratulations. And here to speak and give you, I think, more accolades and more recognition are Mr. Jose Fuentes and Mr. Uriel Jimenez with the Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Vice President Villegas and Commissioners, for the opportunity to participate in the recognition of our department's outstanding Pacific American employees. The Bureau of Engineering could not be prouder than to have Janelle as our representative. Over the past year, I've had the pleasure of working with Janelle on a variety of projects and have seen firsthand her excellent leadership and management skills. Janelle played a major role in getting us to a successful resolution on the La Gloria relocation project. She has led and negotiated MOUs with DWP for BOE to use their property so that we can complete some of our capital improvement projects. Janelle has also done a great job of filling in for Uri when he's been absent and filling in as the real estate division manager. In his absence, she's helped plan, organize, schedule, and direct the work of the division. On behalf of the city engineer and the rest of the BOE family, I want to recognize and celebrate Janelle, not only for the great work and contributions that she has made to our organization, but for her leadership and her service in the Los Angeles Filipino Association of City Employees and the International Right-of-Way Association. Janelle is a true inspiration and role model for all of us. Congratulations, Janelle, and best wishes for continued success. I'll turn it over to Uri.
Thank you, Jose, and thank you, Board, for recognizing all of our friends for all the excellent work that they do and the effort that they put forward in delivering projects for the city. When I think about Janelle, I think about how lucky I am. I know that the one most important thing that I do as a manager is hire the right people. And the most important thing that we do as an organization is hire the right people. I don't know whether it's luck or skill, but I'm blessed to have Janelle as part of the team. She, from the moment that she got to work with us, she hit the ground running, and it has helped us every step of the way. She's a real leader. You know, a leader to me is a person that not only makes himself or herself better, but a leader is a person that makes the people around her better. And from the moment that she stepped into our office, she's made all of us better by supporting us through mentorship. She's been a friend. She's been a bridge builder with other departments and other people around us. And it's been a real asset to have it. She can cut red tape all day long. And she does that by building bridges with other departments and other bureaus. And she's very good at that. She's been a supporter of all the people that report to her. She helps them take classes, guides them through the maze of promotion. She's held mock interviews in support of all the people around her. And I feel like we don't skip a beat when I'm not there. And she's an excellent employee. And I'm happy. And I'm reminded also that having her work for the division reminds me of the tradition that Filipino Americans and Mexican Americans have had in working arms in arm in developing a lot of the laws and changing the way we look at how we work with each other. And I'm very happy and proud to be a colleague of Janelle, and congratulations, Janelle. Thank you.
So much, Deputy City Engineer Jose Fuentes and my division manager, Uriel Jimenez. I am so honored to receive this recognition and celebration of the Asian American Pacific Heritage Month. I want to share with you that it is a pleasure for me to serve my family and the public. I feel that it is my purpose in life to live a life of servitude. I want to use this spotlight to thank the Bureau of Public Works Commission, City Engineer Gary Lee Moore, and the entire executive management team for this honor. I also wanted to thank my colleagues, Jonathan Kwan, Martin Rodriguez, Jason Vargas, OK Ngoku, and Lee Lynch. I consider them my work family. I also wanted to recognize some people who have inspired me throughout my professional career. The entire board of officers of the International Right-of-Way Association and the Los Angeles Filipino Association of City Employees. Amife Milo of the City Clerk Election Division, Samuel Hughes of the Economic and Workforce Development Department, Steve Andrews of the Mayor's Office, Dan Kahn of the CRALA, my professional mentors, Maria Martin of the Bureau of Engineering, Ann Kulikov, retired manager of the Southern California Edison, past president of the International Right-of-Way Association, and Commissioner Reyes. And last but not least, my husband Armando Parra and daughters Janine Carpena and Jasmine and Amanda Parra, who inspire and support me every day to be the best that I can be. Again, thank you for this recognition. I appreciate it very much.
I want to add congratulations, Janelle, for this recognition. It's been a long time coming. Even when I was on the board of Water and Power, I know you have coordinated with me on a number of items that you want to improve in the Bureau of Engineering, in your neck of the woods, and I really admired your persistence, your courage, your tenacity in making sure that processes are streamlined. So thank you for that as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. I appreciate it.
All right. So I'm going to go and thank you, everyone. Congratulations again, Janelle. I'm going to go and introduce our honoree for the LA Sanitation and Environment, Han Lee, Systems Programmer 2, LA Sanitation and Environment. Han Lee is a shining example of a hardworking and dedicated public servant. He has been with LA San since 2006 and is currently a Systems Programmer 2 in the Information and Control Systems Division. Han has played an integral role on major projects, including implementation of the Documentum, a document management system, the deployment of SanStar, a mobile service request fulfillment system for solid collection drivers. And I've heard about that when I was working in the sustainability office, and I was really impressed. And his work on LA San Stat, a compilation of pertinent LA San statistics such as miles of sewer cleaned, number of catch basins cleaned, number of bulky item service requests, and more. Data matters. He's recently been promoted to System Programmer 2 because of his hard work and dedication. In his current role, Han is responsible for managing and supporting LA San's data centers, virtual infrastructures, servers, storage, backups, and uninterrupted power supplies. Han has become known as someone willing to take on any challenge or task and put his best foot forward in anything and everything that he does. He even goes the extra mile to assist his colleagues. In his spare time, you can find Han playing poker, rocking out on his guitar, and spending time with his family. Han has become an invaluable member of the team, and this recognition honors his contributions to the LA sanitation and environment and the entire city. Congratulations, Han. And now to add more to your accolades is Mas Dojiri, LA Sanitation and Environment. Mas?
Thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes. And good morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody on the virtual meeting. I wish it was face-to-face, but unfortunately it's not. Before I start, though, I want to congratulate President Garcia and Vice President Villegas for their new roles. We haven't talked in a while and certainly haven't seen each other, so I really want to give you my good wishes and my congratulations. Certainly, good morning to Commissioner Davis. It's always a pleasure to see you, and welcome Commissioners Corzan and Reyes. I really look forward to working with you in the near future. And of course, good morning to Mr. Jordan and Dr. Campos and the Bureau representatives. Commissioner Reyes actually covered most of it, most of the wonderful qualities of Han, but I did want to begin by complimenting Commissioner Reyes on her fabulous opening remarks. I agree with everything that you said. It was really fabulous. And I personally am an immigrant. I was born in Japan and I came over to the United States when I was 3 years old. So a lot of what you said really hit home. I agree about the diversity issue, not just with management or civil service or just organization, but other systems as well. If you talk to a financial advisor, what do they tell you? Diversify your portfolio, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket, your financial eggs in one basket. I'm a biologist and an environmental scientist. And in those fields, particularly biology, there's something called heterozygote superiority. And it's not having a purebred, actually a great example. Pedigree dogs have specific health issues depending upon the breed. If you have a mutt, they're really, really hardy. And it's because of this heterozygous system that they have, genetics that they have. Ecosystem stability actually also relies on biodiversity. So the world in general runs on diversity. So I think that this is a really important event to go ahead and honor our diverse workforce. And I think it's fabulous. And I want to thank Han for his hard work, his dedication, and his service. He's a really patient person, and he has excellent customer service. Everybody mentions that. He's a fabulous team player. He's friendly, and he's approachable. He produces great work products, is hardworking, and particularly during this pandemic period, ICSD, the Information Control Systems Division, where he resides right now, was about 30% understaffed. That's not that unusual. I know that most divisions in most departments are understaffed because of the hiring freeze during the pandemic. But even though they were at least 30% understaffed, they were able to provide excellent customer service and get the work done. And it is because of people like Han that we were able to do that. As I mentioned, Commissioner Reyes covered all the bases on why Han is such a wonderful, wonderful employee. So I'm going to keep it short, and I'm going to end there and just congratulate Han and thank him for all his service and his excellent hard work and work products. And I want to thank the Board of Public Works for having this event. It really touches my heart. Thank you very much.
My apologies. I was muted. I want to thank Dr. Jury and the Director of Systems, Nicholas Tran, for this honor. Thank you to everyone on the board as well. Like Dr. Jury, I came to the United States when I was 4 years old, and I want to thank my parents and everyone around me for all the assistance and all the guidance. None of us are successful without the help of everyone around us. We don't live in a vacuum. But I do want to take this opportunity to highlight the rise of hate crime against Asian American and Pacific Islanders. You know, it's no secret, we are similar in some ways and we are different in others. Otherwise, it would be, very boring. But we can embrace our common ground to bridge our differences, to unite us as one. We can leverage our diversity and forge strong bonds so that we can provide a strong foundation for those who come after us, just like the ones we were given from those who came before us. So life is too short for hate. Hate has no place among us. So just thank you.
Thank you, Han. Congratulations, and thank you so much for your service. Thank you, Master Theory as well, and all the team at LA San. So now it's my pleasure to turn this over to my colleague, Bahid Korsan, to introduce the honoree for the Bureau of Street Lighting.
Thank you, and congratulations to all our honorees, and thank you to all the bureaus who identified honorees today for us to recognize. The Bureau of Streetlights will be recognizing Chad Subaki, who has served the city of Los Angeles for more than 20 years and is currently the acting division manager of the Bureau of Street Lighting's Information Technology Division. He began his city career in the Department of Recreation and Parks as a recreation assistant and then an admin intern. Following this, he entered the systems career path and has steadily climbed his way up to his current position. In his current role, Chad has a wide range of responsibilities. He manages a team that develops and supports all internal and public-facing websites and applications, including the Bureau's internet and intranet sites, GIS-based work order management systems, and integration between the work order management system and the city's My 311 application. Chad also manages the development, the testing, and deployment of new technologies, such as the expansion of streetlight remote monitoring with sensors and controls, solar to grid attachments, EV charging stations, streetlight small cell integration, and mobile data access for field crews. His work directly impacts every employee in every facet of the Bureau's work. Chad is committed to ensuring that the IT needs for LA Lights are up to date, secure, and ready for ever-changing technology improvements as they come. We commend Chad for his hard work and dedication through his special recognition today. Chad, congratulations and welcome. I believe Megan is on. I'm not sure if Miguel is on, but I will gladly turn it over to Megan for some comments.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for hosting this event and allowing us to honor this group of awesome public works employees. First and foremost, thank you, Chad. About a year and a half ago, Chad's predecessor retired under the SIP program, and as we all know, those exits were like really quick and requiring all of us to remain to pick up some slack and keep on trekking. So Chad did that with no problem, and we were also going through a pandemic, so remote workers, contactless services, and seemingly every other obstacle under the sun was in front of us. And that's especially true for the IT folks who were working so hard behind the scenes to keep departments running smoothly. And, we're coming across challenges that we've never seen before. But guess what? We prevailed, we succeeded, and I dare say that Chad ensured that the Bureau of Street Lighting stayed afloat without ever even breaking a sweat. So thank you, Chad. But on top of that period of uncertainty, we have our everyday work goals, planning and deploying. And in recent years, the Bureau of Street Lighting has really moved into a realm that's more than just street lighting. And we're leading down a path that's really highly technology based. So insert Chad, right? He's been an instrumental player on our team and a great team leader for his division. And his contributions directly and indirectly brighten the communities across Los Angeles. So he tackles every single task with the utmost professionalism, foresight, and diligence. And as the commissioner said, Chad's work impacts about every employee in BSL. So he's a pretty important guy. So Chad, we appreciate you, we thank you, and we are so happy to honor you today for this event.
you. Thank you, Megan, for those very kind words. That was, wow. I don't know how to follow that up. But I would just like to thank, of course, Megan, my assistant director, our director, Miguel Sangalang, just for considering me. We have a lot of qualified Asian American Pacific Islanders, working in Bureau of Street Lighting. So just for my name to just be part of that conversation, I mean, that's it's an incredible honor. So, I want to thank the Board of Public Works for presenting me and the other nominees here on this panel today. So thank all of you for that. And I guess for me, receiving this type of honor, this for the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, it means so much more to me because it wasn't just about hard work that you do day in and day out, but it's being recognized as a positive representative for all Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders here in the city. So to me, this accolade will always be something that I'm very proud of, once I get to look back at my career and think back about all the wonderful times that I had here. So again, thank you so much, Megan, Miguel, the Board of Public Works, and of course my Bureau of Street Lighting family. I truly feel blessed and humbled to receive this honor. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Chad. Congratulations, and congratulations again to all our honorees. It's my pleasure to turn this over to President Aura Garcia to introduce the honoree for Streets LA.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Appreciate that. And to Tom, Janelle, Han, and Chad thus far, congratulations. You guys are all very unique and special in your own way, and each and one of you has it was very descriptive on what you do, but each and one of you really does play a special role in what we do overall for the city. And you guys are all very special in your own unique ways. And I also want to take time to recognize Miguel Sangalan, who is also Asian American, and also Mas DeJory, Dr. DeJory, where you recognize you for your efforts and for your contribution of what you do with us here. You're definitely also a very special, unique person within the board. So to all of you, congratulations as well. So I have the great and distinct honor and pleasure to introduce the honoree for the Bureau of Street Services, Ms. Saira Gandhi. Ms. Saira, are you here? I thought I saw her. She was being a hipster walking around in a nature area this morning.
Yes, this is Rose Karagiz, and she is here. She's going to be pulling over, so she's definitely listening, and she's
here. Okay, so we can talk about her. Okay, got it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Hi, sorry.
There she is.
I'm in working mom mode.
In addition to about everything I'm about to say about you, you're also a mom and making sure you're taking care of them. So, Saira Gandhi, congratulations. Saira Gandhi is a Senior Management Analyst 1 for Streets LA. Saira Gandhi is a Senior Management Analyst working in the Financial Management Division for the Bureau of Street Services. With more than 10 years of experience working in the public sector, she holds a master's degree in public policy and a bachelor's degree in international development from UCLA. Saira began her career with the City of Los Angeles in 2013 as a Bognet Fellow in the Office of Mayor Eric Garcetti. Oh, no wonder you look familiar. She went on to help write and implement Executive Directive Number 5 to create a water-wise city and coordinated the mayor's water cabinet. Saira has been a great asset to Streets LA, taking on challenging assignments, including development of the Bureau's proposed budget of over $205 million, preparing the reversion worksheet with over $20 million in interim funds of various funding sources, and providing training over 80 key Streets LA staff and Bureau's budget. Throughout her career, Saira has proven herself to be an advocate for sustainability, equity, and good governance. Her diligence, dedication, and commitment to her work have been of great benefit of Streets LA, and we are happy to acknowledge the contributions Sarah has made to her team and the city. Thank you, Sarah, for being here this morning. Congratulations on this very special recognition. And I'm going to pass it over to Rose and to Chief Harris, who are here to speak on more details on what you do and your contribution to us. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Gary Harris on behalf of Streets LA. I want to just join in the sentiment that our commission president just said. Sorry, you're a great asset to Streets LA, but not only a great asset, you're a critical asset to Streets LA. You've been instrumental in helping us in our financial management division in creating the reports needed to success of our budget. You were there at the last minute when we were asked questions and reports done, no matter the time, no matter the weekend. You always responded, you gave the effort, and you're a true team player, a real public servant, and we totally appreciate that. And so it's always special for us. One of the best things we get to do as managers is have these times when we get to celebrate our greatest resource, but that is our people. And it's always great to celebrate people who go above and beyond, as you do. But to make our presentation, I want to turn it over to the division manager of our financial management division, Ms. Rose Karagizen, who is the chief management analyst and division manager of FMB. Rose?
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity to join in the celebration of the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. I want to congratulate each and every awardee for their contributions. It's been a pleasure listening to the different stories and about, the contributions that everyone has made, this community has made to the city and to the workings of, and the services being provided to city residents. I've had the pleasure of working with Syra for over 2 years now. She started off as a young professional with our financial management division, and now she's a working mom, and she's a super employee as well as a super mom. She's a great supervisor. She celebrates and empowers her employees. And she has stepped up during COVID to make sure that she is productive and instrumental in providing excellent service to our divisions and to making sure that our budget is submitted timely and in an efficient manner. She has a wealth of knowledge. She's an advocate for the environment, including trees and water issues. She's, I can go on and on about Syra. She's an amazing employee, and she's always stepped up to make sure that she helps our division and trains our employees. She's provided budget training to so many of our staff, and she's always, willing to help and step up. So I really, really appreciate her and the contributions that she's made. And I want to thank her for her service. Thank you, Syra.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate being honored, and I'm very excited that it's time to celebrate Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders and everything that we provide to our communities. It's especially exciting as a South Asian to be honored during this month and represent that part of the continent. We have such a variety of cultures and religions and languages in South Asia, and I'm always happy to represent and show South Asians in Los Angeles. I also want to thank everybody at Street Services for recognizing me, and at the Board of Public Works. There's so many people who are inspirations every day, and I also really like to thank Commissioner Susanna Reyes for being always a inspiration and idol of how to be working through civil service and also being an advocate for the environment and for justice in our communities. So thank you, Susanna, for showing that pathway of navigating politics and civil service. You really are an inspiration for us. And I'd also just like to take a thank you to everybody in the city and the Bureau for providing a very great workplace to be as a new mom. I was lucky to have my son during the pandemic and really appreciated the flexibility of being able to work from home during this time and to be able to take maternity leave and to be able to care for my son at a time when so many women have had to step away from the workforce to take care of their children. It's just an honor to be somewhere that supports women and supports moms and supports families. So thank you again for this honor, and thank you for giving me the space to speak. I appreciate it.
I just want to add thank you, Sarah, for all the work that you do from the very beginning that we met, all your contributions, the value that you add to the work that you do. You're an inspiration to many. And as I said, representation matters. We love you and we wish you good luck in your career in the city. And thank you so much to the Bureau. And now I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Fernando Campos for the last honoree of the day. Dr. Campos.
Good morning, everyone. Just give me 1 second to spotlight everyone. I'm going to juggle two things at the same time here. Commissioners, thank you so much for allowing us to honor Nancy Obakora this morning. Let me go ahead and turn on my video cam really quick. I apologize for that. And then I will also spotlight our honoree, Nancy. Congratulations, Medi and Miguel. Took me a couple of seconds there, but we're on. Commissioners, thank you again for honoring a great group of honorees today. Tom Dam, Janelle Para, Hanley, Chad, and also Syra Gandhi, and of course our Board of Public Works representative and honoree, Nancy Obakoro. What a great celebration, and thank you for the time that you're allowing us to recognize all these employees from the Department of Public Works. From the Board of Public Works Office of Accounting, we are honoring today Nancy Obakoro. She is an accounting professional with more than 29 years of extensive experience in commercial, public, and organizational and government accounting and auditing from city government, nonprofit organizations, auditing firms, and also the garment manufacturing industries. Her career began with the Board of Public Works in the Office of Accounting in our Sewer and Construction and Maintenance Division, what we normally call or typically call SCM, and those are the acronyms that we use, SCM, Sewer Construction and Maintenance Division. And she started as a project assistant and then promoted quickly to accountant 2, senior accountant 1, and then a senior accountant 2. Nancy has worked in various sections in the Office of Accounting, including our SCM payables, our accounts receivables, our financial reporting, our fixed assets, our investment section, and also our special funds citywide recycling program. In her current role as Senior Accountant 2, she serves in a capacity of supervisor for the financial reporting, financial fixed assets, and investment section. She oversees the preparation of SCM funds, which is an enterprise fund, the financial statements, the debt service compliance report, financial transaction reports for the state controller, financial reports for the city's annual comprehensive financial reports, and other financial requirements. I'm going to take a quick pause there because I said a whole lot in terms of all these documents and what does this mean and why is it so important, right? And so the accounting discipline is so critical for all government as a whole, and especially for the Department of Public Works. When everything goes fine, no one does any recognition for accounting. But when something goes wrong, they first call Miguel de la Peña or myself or even Medi and say, why aren't you making the payments? Why aren't the financial reports done? Why aren't we passing an audit? And I wanted to take a quick pause and digress really quickly just to give you an order of magnitude of what this means, financial reporting, financial transactions. So the SCM group has a $5.5 billion asset oversight that we oversee. Let me just say that again, $5.5 billion in assets for the SEM group. This is what Nancy does for us. She tracks everything coming in, all the revenues coming in, and all the expenditures going out. Of course, she has a team of others that are helping us on the receivables, the payables, but Nancy is the lead on our financial reporting. This is very tedious. This also includes $3 billion in debt service oversight. This basically means when we issue new bonds to raise funding to repair our sewer infrastructure, Nancy is crunching the numbers and making sure that everything is correct, that we're in accordance to the laws and governing rules, and that we're also being accountable and transparent to our investors out there. With Nancy's help, we've also been able to keep our AA rating, bond rating, through S&P, Fitch, and also the Kroll bond rating agencies, and of course also with Moody's AA3. These are high-level credit ratings, and without Nancy's help, we would not be able to provide the data that's necessary to pass an audit. I digress here because I wanted to highlight the magnitude of what this means, and not just financial reporting and financial documents. These are reports and they're great, where we're complying with the law, but somebody is handling this behind the doors in terms of the paperwork, the ins and outs, the reconciliation, and making sure that everything gets done for SEM, our sewer maintenance and division. The last two things that I'll say about Nancy, and I'll turn the virtual mic over to Miguel and Medi to say a few words about Nancy. Before joining the city, Nancy worked as a senior auditor at an auditing firm and as a fiscal manager for a nonprofit organization, the Filipino American Service Group, incorporated in Los Angeles. A good fun fact that Nancy has allowed us to share with everyone, and a very inspirational one too, is that Nancy is a leader in 2 churches serving in its women's ministry and prayer ministry. We are so proud to have Nancy on our team and thank her for all her hard work that greatly benefits not only the Department of Public Works, but the City of Los Angeles as a whole. So thank you again for the space and time to recognize our honoree, Nancy Obiacoro. And with that, I will turn the virtual mic over to Miguel and Medi for any few words that they may have.
Good morning to all the commissioners, Dr. Fernando and Miguel, Nancy, and whoever in this video. Thank you, Dr. Fernando. You already detailed everything about Nancy, so I don't need to speak that much. So Nancy's dedication to her work, her admirable work ethics, and her substantial contribution in financial reporting, truly remarkable in SENet. So I am very proud that another member of SENM has been recognized for this prestigious recognition. Asian Pacific Heritage is a little bit longer. So congratulations, Nancy, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Medi. I just wanted to say a few words. I was really happy that I was able to nominate Nancy. I think Nancy exemplifies not only what the Office of Accounting represents and brings to the City of Los Angeles and to the Department of Public Works, but also to the Asian Pacific community. I think it's a great representation. She's a consummate professional. She never says no to work. If they tell me that Nancy's handling it, Nancy's handling it. That's the level of confidence I have. And she stepped out for the department, not only for the department, but also for the City of LA. Served as expert witness. She's out there, and I wish her well, and I congratulate her on this great achievement. Thank you so much, and thank you to the Board of Public Works for providing this platform to us, the employees, that we can actually have this time to recognize everyone, and not only a specific person, but also to all of us employees for the Department of Public Works. Thank you.
Nancy, do you want to say a few words? You're on mute.
Yes, sure. Thank you. I am truly honored and thankful for this recognition.
I would like to thank first our Lord for this blessing, so I give all the glory to God. Thank you to the Board of Public Works, Mr. Miguel de la Peña for the nomination. To Dr. Campos, to my previous and present supervisors, to my friends and my colleagues in the Office of Accounting, specifically to my division, the Sewer Construction and Maintenance Fund. I've been working in this department for 8 years, and I would say that I really learned a lot because I was given the opportunity to move around from accounts receivable, accounts payable, and now the financial reporting section. So when there's an opportunity to that opens, I will always volunteer to fill up that position in order for me to learn more in everywhere that I go. So I am so blessed to have been given the opportunity to work with the Department of Public Works, Office of Accounting. And I believe that whatever you do, you have to work heartily with excellence as for the Lord. And thank you again to everyone.
Thank you, Nancy. Congratulations. And thank you, Dr. Campos and team. Congratulations. You know, I am really heartened to thank all of today's honorees, Tom, Janelle, Chad, Han, Saida, and Nancy. Thank you for the exemplary work that you do daily to deliver the vital services that make our neighborhood safer, cleaner, and more livable for more than 4 million residents throughout Los Angeles. You all play a key role in building and maintaining the critical infrastructure system of the second largest city in the nation. Your accomplishments show us the importance of diversifying our workplaces and creating opportunities for more AAPI representation. Representation matters. Your stories help others believe in all of the possibilities that exist for them. So thank you for your work. I feel immense pride in seeing so many Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders serving this great city, excelling in their careers in public service, and rising through the ranks to leadership positions. And to our department leaders, the question I pose before you is, how are you transforming policies and practices to level the playing field, be more transparent and inclusive, provide access to resources, and create opportunities for employees to thrive? The board will continue to do its part to increase visibility by elevating the stories of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders throughout public works. Diversity is a strength, but it is also fragile. It must be protected, appreciated, and sustained. Thank you, dear colleagues on the board, for this opportunity. Thank you to the Department of Public Works, and congratulations to all our honorees. Happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I turn it over to President Garcia.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes, and to all my colleagues on the board, and to everyone here. What an amazing presentation. Thank you for leading us on today's presentation. You're an asset to our board as well, Ms. Commissioner Reyes, and everyone else on this call as well. So thank you all for being here. And to all the honorees, congratulations. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, celebrating with your families and talking about the work that you do here for the city, but also just making sure that you pass along those great traits that you've inherited to the rest of your family members so that they can follow along with you too. So thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of the day. And that concludes our Asian Pacific American Heritage Month presentation for today. Thank you very much, everyone. Colleagues, we're going to take a 5-minute break just to kind of transition us over back to business that we still have to do. I wish we can stay the whole day celebrating and actually would have had to have a nice in-person celebration, but I know that at this time it's still not possible. So again, colleagues, thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see each other in 5 minutes.
President Garcia, you're now in record mode.
Great, thank you. All right, colleagues, welcome back, and welcome back to everybody that's been on our line. I hope you all enjoyed this morning's presentation. It was really special and unique, so thank you so much, Commissioner Reyes, again, for leading us through our Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and we look forward, crossing fingers, we can do this again next year, and to continue to this beautiful tradition that we've started, so thank you for that. All right, colleagues, moving us now to our first item on today's agenda. This is with the Bureau of Engineering in Council District 2. This is a task order solicitation.
President Garcia, I apologize for the interruption. Before you read the item into the record, let me go ahead and establish quorum for the record at 11:25 a.m. President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, Commissioner Reyes, and Corzan are present. President Garcia, you do have quorum at this time. Now you can read it into the record.
Yeah, sorry about that. I forget the little stuff. Okay, so little stuff which equals big stuff. This is a agenda item number 1, Council District 2 from the Bureau of Engineering. This is a task order solicitation number 117 to SOMA's pre-qualified on-call consultants list, Magnolia Boulevard North Improvement from Cahuenga Boulevard to Vineland Avenue project. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the city engineer to issue the task order to SOMAS from the pre-qualified on-call bridge civil engineering and other design and support services consultants list to provide design and engineering design support services for the Magnolia Boulevard North Improvement from Cahuenga Boulevard to Vineland Avenue project, as stated in task order number 117, with a budget authority of $480,161, including contingency. And we have Arsen and Ms. Lam here to present today's item. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Arsen Moskerchian with the Bureau of Engineering Street Improvement Program. I'm joined today by our project manager, Winnie Lam, which I'll be passing over for the presentation. But before I do, I just wanted to mention a little bit why we are using our pre-qualified on-call list for this task order, as it is, again, recommending awarding this to SOMOS off of the list. And I know there's been recent discussions about that. And so just wanted to mention that this project has federal funding. It has federal grant funding as part of the project. And so as part of that, there are requirements for disadvantaged business enterprise program requirements. And so the bridge pre-qualified on-call list goes through an extensive process when we are establishing that list to make sure that it complies with these federal requirements. So that's one of the reasons why we use the bridge on-call list for some of our federally grant-funded projects, which this one is. As well as this project has a long history to it. It was originally intended to be a street widening project, and Winnie will explain how that transitioned into more of a multimodal pedestrian-friendly type design project. And in so doing, SOMAS did do the work for the original design on the original scope of work. However, we went through a new solicitation on the new contracts. And again, SOMAS was the successful consultant, or the one that we recommend awarding to, based on their understanding of the program, their experience with it, and their ability to deliver this within the time requirements that are needed. There are grant deadlines that we are trying to meet, and so that's the second major reason why we are attempting to use the pre-qualified on-call list, is so that we can meet some of those grant deadline requirements. And so with that, I'll pass it over to Winnie. Winnie will provide a little bit more details and background on the project, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions as well. Winnie? Oh, Winnie, you can't hear you. There we go.
Okay, got it.
There we go.
Thank you, Commissioners and Bureau Representative, for the opportunity to speak to you. For this project, to provide you with some background, in 2015, this project received the Metro 2013 Call for Projects federal grant. It originally, like Arson mentioned, it is a widening project for vehicular capacity on Magnolia Boulevard. But in January 2020, during the public comment period of the environmental reporting review, the community voiced opposition against the road work, that is the widening aspect. Fortunately, by August 2020, with the support of Council Office 2, Office of Paul Kakorian, and LADOT, we were able to revise the scope, present to Metro, the grantor, and the Metro Board approved and revised the scope of work to concentrate on pedestrian safety improvement and storm drain extension on Magnolia Boulevard. And to give you a background, this corridor is City of LA high injury network. So this pedestrian safety is sorely needed. The new redesigned scope, we are adding 2 new crossing with a high intensity activated crosswalk. It's a hawk signal. And we're adding 2 new crossing at Cartwright Avenue and Satsuma Avenue. And then we're also upgrading the signal at Riverton, the existing crossing, to the Hawk. We are adding 14 bump outs at 5 of those crossings. It will be a traffic calming and it will reduce pedestrian crossing distance. So it will be much quicker for those trying to get across the street. We're adding a dedicated left turn signal at Vineland Avenue. Plus, during this community outreach, we heard that there's flooding issue in the wintertime on some of these blocks. So with this request, we asked for additional funding from the CIEP annual budget, and we got an additional 1.44 million to add additional catch basin and extend the storm drain. So we are achieving two goals in one project. The new estimated construction cost is 7.3 million. And so all this time, we were using our existing staff augmentation TOS 111 from the bridge program. And in this staff augmentation TOS, it had 21 projects in it. So it was on a need by base. So we were able to effectively cost savings, was basically made because we were also rescoping and doing all the different tasks. So it was very effective. And so, but by November 8th of 2019, that list, the pre-qualified on-call list, expired. So from 2019, close to 2020 till now, for that 1 year, we've been busy working with Metro, LADOT, and Caltrans to update our MOU and also reprogram the funds so that we could utilize the Caltrans funding for the rescoping. So with this, that's why we're here today, because this leads to our TOS 117 so that we can continue with the design for the revised scope. And so I will go through the summary of our selection and negotiation. With this, it has to follow the federal process. With the federal process, it select the most qualified prime, then negotiate the price. On June 17, 2021, the city solicit proposal from all 30 pre-qualified on-call consultants. And that's through the BAVIN system, the Business Assistant Virtual Network. 3 firms responded with this solicitation, and we also interviewed all 3 firms. It was MGE Engineering, SOMAS, and also Dokken Engineering. The selection panel consists of 3 Bureau of Engineering staff who reviewed the consultant's proposal plus interview and determined that SOMAS demonstrated the most comprehensive understanding of the project's need, and the proposed scope included all the necessary requested services. So with negotiation with the design and construction support costs, the final amount came to be $430,287. And with a contingency, a little bit more than 10%, 49,874. The total budget authority requesting is $480,161. And due to, in the report, I say that due to the grant funding deadline of June 30th, 2022, which is about a month away, we issue a early NTP on November 15, 2021. That was about 6 months ago, so that we can get this project started. So with $149,000, it was about 34% of the design services. SOMAS was able to lay out the design so that we can start the coordination with LADOT and Metro Bus Stop. Because throughout this corridor, we also have to support the bus stop, and every bump out that we have, we actually have to lengthen the bump out so that we can capture the bus stop. And so we've been busy coordinating in that effort. And also with the ADA compliance, we want to make sure that there's accessibility for all, even with the unmarked crossing. So we've been coordinating that effort internally and double checking. And so now I just want to assure you, we have another four months for the reimbursement. So we can still do work all the way to about October. And then our next phase, which is we call it the construction phase, is also the bid and award phase. We'll have a new pot of money. So don't worry, we'll be, good to go, which is, with this phase, we'll close out in the next 4 months with the design. And then I'll go over the disadvantaged business enterprise requirement from the U.S. Department of Transportation. The requirement is 8% on this pre-qualified contract. And SOMAS proposed a 11.45%. And the Alliance Group is their DBE sub-consultant. It is Male Asian Pacific American owned. They'll be doing the light illumination study on this project. And as the status of funding, it is partly paid out by the federal grant, allocated $263,561, and then the other part is the new storm drain component, and that's from the fiscal year 19-20 CIEP budget, and this part would be $216,600. For the construction, I just want to let you know that 55% will be paid for by the Fed, and then 45% local funding. It's a great program. So in closing, we request that the board authorize the city engineer to issue the TOS 117 to SOMAS so that we can finish the design and deliver this pedestrian safety project to the community. Thank you. That concludes my report. If you have any questions.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Lam. And Arsen, I'm going to turn it over to colleagues to see if they have any questions. Commissioner Corson, I see your hand up.
I have no question. I just want to acknowledge Arsen and Winnie for giving us a thorough report and having listened in to our meeting on Wednesday and providing us on how you selected the PQOC SOMAS and how you got there. I really appreciated that. I've said it before to Arsen. I feel like he does a really great job when he's briefing me, and I want to personally acknowledge both of you for being cognizant of the issues we raised on Wednesday. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Any other questions, colleagues? Here, I have a question actually. So we have 30 folks on the pre-qualified list and only 3 submitted a bid. Is there a reason on your end why you think this is happening?
I'll take an attempt and then I'll ask Winnie if that came up during the interview process or when we were going through the selection. Generally, when we do solicit off of the full list, that's the amount of response we typically see is anywhere from 1 to 5 consultants that respond, even when we solicit the whole list. In this case, we solicited a bridge list, which has 30 consultants on that list, but our other on-call lists also have about the same number. Some have even a little bit more. But we usually only get about 1 to 5. And typically when we ask the question, we're told that those consultants are either busy with other work and just don't have the capacity to take on more, or in a lot of other cases, the work that's being offered isn't in their area of expertise, and so they pass on those and wait for the ones that they do have expertise on to bid on. But in this particular case, Winnie, did that come up during the selection process?
I agree with Arsen. We usually typically only get 3 and sometimes even just 1. So I feel fortunate to have 3 to pick. And I think the 30 group is very broad, and I think sometimes I would say it may be easier for a lot of the consultant to start off being the sub. And there's a combination. They not only they're a prime, but they can also work as a sub. And so everyone is busy. That's why I hear a lot. And I actually for this project and for my other project is I always email the firms and just make sure, did you guys get the notice from Bavin? Just so that we know that our machine is working correctly. So I think 3 is very good. And then we were being very thorough in trying to understand if they know what the expertise can assist in how we shape the project and how they can give us good ideas to even better than how we have scoped it. So that was another something that we were also looking for, that it would be a good fit.
And one thing to note also is, as Winnie mentioned, sometimes the consultants, they work amongst themselves to figure out who's going to be the prime and who's going to be the sub on some of these projects that are being advertised. And so they kind of have arrangements where they'll partner up together and bid on the ones that those teams work well together and can handle the project scope. So that's typically what we see. But in this particular case, for this example, for this project, we don't know exactly why the other ones did not submit a bid.
Okay, thank you for your answers. Both are very truthful answers, so thank you for that. And I think we, moving forward, we should probably assess kind of where we're at with a lot of these pre-qualified lists. It's just a little concerning that out of 33 submit in first of all in a city as big as ours. So I nothing to do now. I understand that this is something and one of the last things that we do as a board is try to disrupt any interruptions in services. So nothing to do again. But again, I just want to highlight, just this week is the 3rd contract to SOMAS. Just this week. I just wanted to make that a point. And so I'm starting to pay attention to what that is looking like and making sure that are we being the best that we could be on opening more possible opportunities to other folks, to other firms, to new starting firms, and so forth. So I think there's just some homework that we probably have to do around all of this. So that's all for that. But thank you, Arsen and Winnie, for always being great champions on making sure that, like you said, making sure everybody received the notice, that everybody's well aware, and that everybody has the opportunity, at least those folks that are on these pre-qualified lists. So more on that. All right. Well, Commissioner Reyes, yes. Oh, I see your hand.
I just want to add, and I fully support President Garcia's recommendation there. There's an opportunity to probably get feedback from the other, proposers as to why they didn't apply or what other feedback they can give with regards to our process. That continuous feedback is always going to be helpful in helping us, steer the direction towards more inclusion and diversity on all our contracts. So I would encourage like a feedback mechanism. Maybe we can work with BCA on that one.
Yes, we will do that. We'll start implementing that where we follow up after we receive the results and find out why the others did not respond.
Right, and just to give us maybe for information and context for us as moving forward, what seems to be the issue out of 30? How come we're not getting more than 3, and I get it, Ms. Lamb. 3 was good, but that shouldn't be our norm for such a big agency like we are. So let's just try to see what's going on behind the scenes and see if we can do anything about increasing our pool always.
Okay, we'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I don't see any other hands up. Colleagues, okay. Colleagues, is there a motion to move item number 1 forward?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 1 forward and forthwith.
Yes, we'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Okay, Arsen, Ms. Lamb, thank you for your time, and have a good rest of the weekend. Appreciate your work around them. Ms. Lamb, also well recognized on Asian Pacific American Month also as well. Thank you for your contributions to the city.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a good rest of the weekend. All right, colleagues. Item number 2, this is a joint report for the Bureau of Engineering and Bureau of Contract Administration. This is a contract award in Council District 12 to PALP Inc., doing business as Excel Paving for the Balboa Boulevard widening and Devonshire Street Federal Project, number STPL 5006840, recommending the board to 1, declare All American Asphalt our first low bidder to be non-responsive as discussed in this report, and 2, declare PUP Inc. doing as business as Excel Paving second low bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder, and to award PUP a contract for the Balboa Boulevard widening at Devonshire Street project for $2,299,671. And 3, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the contract after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. And we have Arsen again, yay, Ms. Fueyas, Ms. Kim, and Ian Montel here on this item today. All right, turn it over to you guys.
Thank you. Once again, my name is Arsen Oskarchen with the Bureau of Engineering Street Improvement Program. Our next report for today is a contract award, construction contract award, and I'm joined by our project manager, Alice Kim, who will be providing the presentation. And in this case, this one is actually a widening project, and so a little bit different than the previous one. And so I'll pass it over to Alice to provide some details on the report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions as well. Alice?
Hey, thank you, Arsen. Good morning, commissioners, bureau representatives, Dr. Campos, and Mr. Jordan. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. So I will give you a background of the project. So this project came about because Burbank Boulevard is a heavily traveled major arterial in the San Fernando Valley. During peak hours, there's heavy traffic and congestions, especially at the intersection of Balboa Boulevard and Devonshire Street, where the vehicles on the left turn lanes going north and southbound, it would queue and encroach into the travel lane. So which leads to that the oncoming traffic, they would have to maneuver around the idle vehicles. So because of this problem, the city applied for a federal grant through the 2011 Metro Call for Projects to widen the street. The purpose is to improve the traffic flow and increase capacity. So the scope of work includes widening the street by 3 feet, decreasing the sidewalk from 13 to 10 feet. So at a length, it's going to be widened at a length of 500 feet along the east side of Balboa Boulevard, which is south of Devonshire Street. Other improvements include repaving the street, where we're going to widen the street. We're going to improve the sidewalk, upgrade the 7 curb ramps at the intersection of Balboa and Devonshire. We're also going to include landscaping, where we're going to remove 7 trees and replant 14. We're going to upgrade the traffic signalization and install 3 street lighting. As part of this project, it was advertised back in January and we received 2 bids. The first bidder was All American Asphalt, and BCA, Bureau of Contract Administration, deemed that they were not responsive because they did not meet the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, the DBE program, with a goal of 18.59%. And whereas All American Asphalt, they pledged at a 3.27%, which again was not satisfactory and did not submit any adequate DBE good efforts documentation. But please note that again, this is a federal grant project. The business inclusion, the BIP program does not apply, but it's subject to this DBE program. So, which leads to our second lowest bidder, which is PALP Incorporated, doing business as Excel Paving, and they were deemed the lowest responsible responsible bidder. So they were able to meet the DBE goals. They pledged at a 20.34%. They are the second lowest bidder, but they were 30.98% higher than the city's estimate. And the total cost was $2,299,671, which leads to our funding. So for the funding, we have secured 70% of it through Measure M and the Transportation Grant Fund. And the remaining 30%, the fund is yet to be identified, but it is currently in the mayor's proposed budget for fiscal year 22-23. So in conclusion, the staff recommends that the board to award the contract to PALP Incorporated for this project. This concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Kim, for that. Appreciate it. And yes, I totally understand you on that responsible bidder. I always have to double check what I'm saying when I read that sentence. So thank you. No, I truly understand you. All right, I see 2 hands up. I'm going to go with Commissioner Corson and then with the Vice President Villegas.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I grew up very close to this intersection and visited it quite a bit when it was, of course, movie theaters and Regency. I do have a question on that, though, 2 actually. I know homeless encampments on Devonshire at that intersection have been a major issue since the onset of COVID. Wanted to get an understanding of what that would look like, even though the road work may not go on to Devonshire itself. It'll be on Balboa, what the impacts will be there. And 2, in terms of timeline, if what communications have been had with city planning or building and safety, because that Regency is, the beginning of this year, it was announced that they were going to turn it into a Home Depot and they were going to totally gut it and renovate it. So that's a major project right there that could cause some traffic issues. So just wanted to know if that timing communication has happened as well. But thank you.
Right. So thank you, Commissioner Corson, for the questions. For the homeless problem that we have been encountering these throughout our street improvement projects. So we have been in close communication with sanitation. So I don't see if there would be any problem because we know who to contact.
And typically what we do is we work with the council office when we notice there is a issue at the site that is going to impact that construction project. And so we would work with the council office, with sanitation, with the care team, and a few others that get involved in this type of outreach, and to be able to do that outreach first. And then with the help of our partners with the council office and sanitation, we go out and be able to do the relocation at that time so that the construction can proceed. Maybe a temporary relocation, but it allows us to proceed with construction. And so we gauge this as we get started during construction, because as we know, the encampment situation is very fluid. And so if it's done too early, if the relocation or the field outreach efforts are done too early, we end up with the same situation as we get closer to construction. And so we have to time it very well, and so that way when the outreach is done and when those efforts are done to provide the space for construction, that the construction happens immediately afterwards, so that the when those encampments return, the construction can be completed by that point. And so we will continue to work with the council office and with sanitation and the care team to be able to address those needs as we get a little bit closer to actual field activities.
Right. So as part of the second question, Commissioner Corson, for having communication with the planning department, that has not been done recently. As I mentioned earlier, this project was started back in 2011. So throughout the process, we didn't require any land acquisition or any entitlement for any companies, but we will reach out to the planning department.
Yes, we'll reach out and coordinate if there's going to be any impacts during construction or if any of our work may overlap with the work that the private development would be doing. Typically, when we do encounter that, we work to see what scope of work from our project is going to be done through the private development. And if there is some overlap there, then depending on whose schedule is first, likely we would deduct that from our project so that the development that happens there, we're not spending the city funds to do something that's going to be done or is going to be changed again because of private development. So we'll definitely reach out and coordinate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Vice President Villegas.
Thank you. Thank you for the report, Alice. That was really thorough. Oops, there we go. I just want to take my hand down. Just a quick question, if you can just elaborate a little bit more on the first bidder, the low bidder. If you can just provide a little bit more context on the American Asphalt, and they were deemed as non-responsive.
Right. So they were deemed non-responsive because for this project, the DBE goal was 18.59%, and they submitted 3.27%. So we tried to reach out to them to submit the good faith efforts documentation, but they were found non-responsive.
I
see.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe we also have our partners from PCA on the line, so Patty may be able to provide a little bit more detail on that. Patty, you're on mute.
Hi, good morning. My name is Patricia Fuentes, and I'm with the Bureau of Contract Administration, Office of Contract Compliance. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Good. Okay. So, All American Asphalt, yes, they did pledge 3.27, which did not meet the DBE goal. They did submit an Exhibit 15-H form, but they failed, two indicators. The first indicator was Indicator B, which required All American Asphalt to provide solicitation effort documentation. Caltrans requires bidders to outreach to all available DBE firms in order to meet the requirements of Indicator B. In doing so, All American Asphalt was required to provide the names and dates of written notices sent to certified DBEs soliciting bids for this project. Additionally, Caltrans expects bidders to use the California Unified Certification Program, or CUCP, database in performing their search for potential DBEs and provide the city with a copy of their search list when submitting their Exhibit 15-H. Good faith effort documentation. So staff we did a search in the CUCP database on March 21st, 2022, and we found 73 DBE certified firms in 3 work areas listed by All American Asphalt in their bid, in which they did not select DBEs. So, based on staff's findings in the 3 work areas made available to DBE subs, outreach for this indicator was insufficient. In particular, the electrical work area comprised a significant portion of All American Asphalt's bid, which is 16.83%. Staff noted that a more thorough outreach in this indicator may have resulted in the discovery and subsequent selection of a DBE electrical subcontractor, which could have resulted in All American Asphalt meeting the DBE goal For these reasons, staff determined that All American did not meet indicator B. In addition to that, All American Asphalt didn't meet indicator H, which was to provide additional data to support a demonstration of good faith efforts of the exhibit 15-H. Instead, All American Asphalt entered non-applicable in the form. So per Caltrans direction to the City of Los Angeles, and as per the DBE program for construction contracts requirements under good faith efforts submittal, the city may consider DBE commitments of the second and third low bidders when determining whether the low bidder made good faith efforts to meet the DBE goal. So when an apparent low bidder fails to meet the goal while other bidders meet it, the agency reasonably can raise the question of whether, with additional reasonable efforts, the apparent low bidder could have met the goal. After considering that PALP met the DBE goal by pledging 20.34, staff determined that the project's DBE goal was attainable, and that with additional reasonable effort, All American Asphalt could have met the DBE goal as well. Therefore, All American Asphalt did not meet the indicator H requirement. All American Asphalt was notified that they failed the indicator B and H on March 22nd, and they did not contest.
Okay, thank you for that. That was very thorough. More is better. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't have
Agreed.
any
Agreed. Thank you, Vice President Villegas. And you answered my question. American Asphalt did not contest, but they were aware of today's. I imagine they were aware of today's hearing, right? Based on, but I just want to know if they were aware, or there was no need to make them aware anymore because they didn't protest.
Right. Usually, if they don't protest, we don't specifically reach out to them to let them know. And so I don't believe there was an invitation for today's meeting specifically.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Arsen, for that. All right, colleagues. Is there a motion on this item, item number 2, to move it forward?
So move.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second for this item?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Dr. Campos, we have a first by Vice President Villegas and a second by Commissioner Corson to move item number 2 forward and forthwith.
Yes, we'll go ahead and start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Thank you to the team here, BCA, BOE, and for your service, Ms. Kim. Congratulations, and thank you all. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Long weekend, by the way.
Yes.
All right, colleagues. Moving on to item number 3. This is an AFE to Los Angeles Trade Tech College. The Bureau of Street Services and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $134,400 to pay for street maintenance technology program at the Los Angeles Trade Technical College for the semesters summer 2021, fall 2021, winter 2022, spring 2022, and summer 2022. And we have Rose Karazian here. I'm going to practice your name, Rose, presenting on today's item. Rose, welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, commissioners, and welcome, Commissioner Susana Reyes. Congratulations on your new appointment. So this authority for expenditure is to process payment to LA Trade Tech for the educational program that we collaborate with them on. Just to give you a little bit of a background, this is a college accredited educational program developed by the Bureau of Street Services. It's been around since the 1990s and is a very popular program for our employees. It provides upward mobility opportunities for employees and instructions in paving, resurfacing, repairing, and maintaining the streets, as well as report writing and other skills necessary for employees. 90% of the participants in the program approximately are city employees, but it is offered to others that are registered in the LA Trade Tech Community College program. The courses offer opportunities for studying various construction-related legal codes and standards and specifications that impact our projects, our Streets LA projects. This program offers an opportunity for students to get a certificate of achievement or an associate degree in street maintenance technology. This particular authority for expenditure is for 19 courses that are currently being offered through this program. Class size, it accommodates up to 40 students per class and is a great opportunity for training and for, educational development for employees. This is paid out of our 6010 account, our office and admin expense account, and is general funded. And as also just as a technical correction, the attachment on page 9, there was a letter from the City of LA to LA Trade Tech that's indicates dated December 2nd, 2022. It's actually a typographical error. That should be December 2nd, 2021. That shouldn't impact our ability to pay for this program if this item is approved. With that, I can answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose, for that report. Colleagues, any questions on this item? Commissioner Reyes.
And thank you for that presentation and information. My question is, does the certificate enable our employees to qualify for promotional exams?
Yes, definitely. There's different courses that they need to take. We have a very popular motor sweeper operator course that's taken, and once they have a certificate of completion, they can qualify to promote to motor sweeper operator, as well as, associate arts degree also allows them to promote to other classifications within the city of Los Angeles.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Reyes. I'm not seeing any other questions. I don't have questions, Rose. I just have comments, and I just want to say that I always support this program. I'm very happy that there's a partnership that's been in existence for so many long through Trade Tech that provides the mobility for a lot of our entry-level workers to move up through the ranks. And so, hence, we are always very proud of Keith Mose as our director. And so he's right, circling it back to make sure that he also gives the opportunity to a lot of our entry folks. So I really love this program. I get excited when we graduate them. I get excited when we pay for it, all of the above. And I just want to say that I continue to provide this and continue to do this type of career mobility for a lot of our workers. It's very much needed. And the fact that you can bring it, the fact that they have it so accessible to them is extremely important, and important not just for them and their families and what does for them, because that is the number one reason why we do it, but it's also really important for us to have qualified, educated and trained staff to move up within our ranks. So thank you for that, Rose, and making sure that never died down and that it continues. So your job will be to make sure that we always keep this program going. How's that?
Definitely. We all support it, and we have, it's very popular, and we hope to continue to offer it on a continuing basis.
Good. I appreciate that. All right, colleagues, I'm not seeing any more hands up. Ms. Reyes, did you put your hands up again, or is it just, okay, I got it. Other than that, is there a motion is there a second to my motion to move item number 3 forward and forthwith?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Commissioner Reyes to move item number 3 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Thank you, Rose, for that, and to all the Bureau of Street Services for making this a priority. Have a good rest of the weekend, and enjoy the long weekend, actually.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 4 on today's agenda. This is for us. This is a finding to continue teleconference meetings pursuant to Assembly Bill AB 361, recommending the board to adopt the finding and determination in accordance with AB 361, Section 3E3, that while the state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as originally proclaimed by the governor on March 4, 2020, remains active, and or state or local officials have imposed or recommended measures to promote social distancing, this legislative body has reconsidered the circumstances of the state of the emergency, and that the state of emergency continues to directly impact the ability of the members to meet safely in person, or state or local officials continue to impose or recommend measures to promote social distancing. We do not have a presenter on this item. This is something that we're doing on a monthly basis to make sure that we can continue to meet virtually. Is there a second to my motion to move item number 4 forward and forthwith?
So move. Oh, second.
That's okay. Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 4 forward and forthwith.
We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye. Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, colleagues, for that. And moving us forward to the administrative items. This is item number 5. A specification submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids, Council District 4, 5, 7, and 14, street lighting conduit only project Unit 11, high voltage conversion fiscal year 2021-2022, work order L2249457, an estimate amount of $1,697,000, bid receipt date July 13, 2022. Is there a second to my motion to move item number 5 forward and forthwith?
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Commissioner Reyes to move item number 5 forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulation. We'll start with you, President Garcia.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye. Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, colleagues, for that. And we're now in our oral reports section, and today we have item number 6, status update on major upcoming street improvement projects from the Bureau of Street Services. Mr. Kempton, good to see you here. Good morning. You're on mute, though. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Good afternoon, President Garcia and Board of Public Works Commissioners. It's a pleasure, a pleasure, a pleasure. Now, when we are talking about the street maintenance technology courses, I have my associate arts in street maintenance technology, and it is desired, and to get that information. When I came over to the Bureau from Investigation Enforcement Division, all I had ever done is walk and fall on asphalt and concrete. And while I was in Enforcement and Investigation Enforcement Division, I took the courses, I learned that information, I transferred over as a maintenance supervisor, and will be leaving the city at the end of the month as a in my current position as a superintendent too. I have just over 36 years of service.
Wow. Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations and out.
Well, one of the joys of starting at 19.
Were you a summer intern program? Summer.
Actually, I started with parking enforcement. So if you can think of it, I've been called it, and if you can't think of it, I've been called it.
Oh, well, hence your trajectory shows that these mobility classes are useful and important to the growth of our employees.
Absolutely, it puts them in a position to better compete with promotional opportunities within the Bureau of Street Services.
And that's exactly what I believe on behalf of the board, we stand for that and making sure that we have and provide that ability to folks that want it and need it. And to you, Mr. Kempton, I'm so sorry to hear you're leaving us, and you're leaving us already at the end of the month. Does that mean the end of, like, in 3 days? You're leaving us, or in June?
No, the end of June.
Okay, good. We have an opportunity to leave. But and look at you now, giving presentations. There you are.
That's right. Well, I've done it before.
Yes, I know. But thank you so much for your service. We appreciate you, and we're sorry and sad to hear that you're leaving us. It's that old school leadership type of institutional knowledge that goes out the door. And I hope, Mr. Kempton, that you're training your successor to lead in the same way you have and to work have the same work ethics as you.
Absolutely. I think it's a critical part of work is to pass on that knowledge so it's not lost and somebody has to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Captain. Appreciate that. We'll be talking to you before you leave.
Absolutely. So, for the Bureau of Street Services Major Streets Project Update. All right, so this information is provided to keep the public informed on upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays to the commuters. Streets LA would like to provide you with an update on all major upcoming street improvement projects. There are no major projects scheduled currently in the Metro and Valley resurfacing area. During the week of May 29th through June 6th in our pavement preservation program for 21-22 in the Valley area, we'll be completing 4.55 lane miles, and in the metro area, we'll be completing 4.98 lane miles. The press releases were broadcasted, notifications have been issued. Streets Los Angeles is coordinated with council district offices to assist with outreach to our stakeholders, and we have coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. This information is also available on our Streets LA website.
Thank you, Mr. Kempton. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Kempton. Have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll cherish this next month with you.
Absolutely. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
You too. Bye-bye, Mr. Kempton. All right. Moving on to item number 7. This is a contracts expiring within 90 days. All bureaus. Dr. Campos.
Good afternoon. 12:17. Good afternoon. We do have Eunice Lee from the Bureau of Engineering. We have Martha Inez from the Bureau of Street Services and Mr. John Pattison from the Bureau of Sanitation to report on item number 7. The Bureau of Contract Administration, Street Lighting, and the board offices have nothing to report during this quarter.
Great. Thank you. We'll start with BOE, Bureau's following Bureau of Street Services and ending with Bureau of Sanitation. Who's here from Bureau of Engineering?
Good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Hi, my name is Eunice Lee with the Bureau of Engineering. I'm here to report that there was going to be 24 pre-qualified on-call consultant contract to be expired in July 10th of 2020. However, last Friday, it was approved to amend the contract to extend another 5 years for all 24 consultant contracts.
Okay. Any questions for the Bureau of Engineering? Seeing none, thank you, Ms. Lee. Have a good rest of the weekend, and thank you for your service as well. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Going on with Street Services.
Thank you, President Garcia, and good day to all commissioners. Congratulations to all APA honorees for their achievements and dedication. My name is Martha Inez. I'm representing Streets LA, the Bureau of Street Services. It is to report the Bureau's contracts that will be expiring within 90 days. Streets LA has one contract that will be expiring this year on June 30th. This is a sole source contract with Creative Paving Solutions for the application of co-pavement coating as part of the next phase neighborhood cooling project. Streets LA submitted an authorization request to exercise the 1-year contract extension. The board heard and adopted that report this past Wednesday, May 25th. In addition to that one contract, we have 78 independent owner-operator work agreements associated with the as-needed haul truck program to supplement existing staff in the transport of materials and debris throughout the city. These agreements are also due to expire next month on the 30th. Streets LA has submitted a report to be heard by the board next week on June 3rd. The report is a request for authorization to add 19 additional truckers to the program, exercise the 1-year renewal option, which will extend the term to June 30th, 2023, and to request approval for an AFB of $15 million to fund the expenditures for fiscal year 2022-23. That concludes my report, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Ms. Iniguez. I hope I'm saying it right. Iniguez. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Iniguez. Have a good rest of the weekend. Enjoy the long weekend, and good to see you here.
Thank you, Commissioners, for your time.
Great. Moving on to the Bureau of Sanitation.
Good afternoon, President Garcia, Commissioners, Bureau representatives. John Patterson with LA Sanitation and Environment. We have 4 personal services contracts that will be expiring within the next 90 days. Our first is Electronic Recyclers International, performing collection and recycling of electronic waste. Their contract will expire on June 2nd. This contract will be renewed, and the board has already approved execution of the amendment at the May 11th meeting. The second contract is with Electric Construction Corporation for specialized high voltage service work. That contract expires on June 30th. This contract will not be renewed, and staff is currently preparing a new RFQ for these services. In the meantime, staff is utilizing the as-needed maintenance services contracts to obtain any needed work. The third contract is with S. Groner and Associates for the Stormwater Public Education Program. This contract expires on June 30th. It will not be renewed. Staff is currently preparing a TOS, or task order solicitation, under LA Sanitation's on-call contract in order to obtain a contractor to provide these services. The fourth and last contract expiring within 90 days is with R.G. Fanucchi Farms for the custom farming operations at the city's Greenacre Farms. This contract expires on July 25th. This contract is not going to be renewed. LA Sanitation has already distributed a new RFP for the services. The board approved the execution of the new contract, and City Council approved the report on April 26, 2022. We are currently awaiting full execution of this contract. That concludes LA Sanitation and Environment's report.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. Mr. Patterson, thank you for your report. Really appreciate it, how thorough you were on it. I was about to ask a question, and then you were just answering it right when I was thinking about it. So thank you for that. Appreciate the way you ran your report. Other than that, if there aren't any questions or comments, thank you, Mr. Patterson, for your time, and have a good long weekend.
Thank you. Have a fantastic long weekend yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, colleagues, this is the end of our agenda. We have now, Dr. Campos, have we cleared our desk?
Yes, you have.
All right. I remember to say it this time. Thank you all, colleagues. Have a good rest. Have a good weekend. Everybody on the call, have a good, restful, and long weekend. Thank you for everything that you do for us, and I appreciate everybody's time. With that, today's meeting has been officially adjourned. Colleagues, we'll meet in 5 minutes. Just a short update meeting.